And welcome back, dear participants, to the EIT Manufacturing Summit 2020. We're coming to you live from Berlin, and it is time to dive into session 4, which we've entitled Manufacturing a Greener Europe. Obviously, there's no shortage of challenges for Europe heading into this next decade, but if we forget about COVID-19 or even things like national and continental boundaries just for a moment, I think it's pretty clear to all of us that climate change is the biggest challenge that, of course, affects us all. And by its very nature, manufacturing, because of all of the goods that we see around us and that we talked about earlier this morning, manufacturing itself has huge potential to reduce emissions and waste and obviously help Europe to achieve its climate goals. So now it is time to look at some of the projects and startups that are actually working to enable that environmentally sustainable manufacturing of tomorrow. And Klaus Bates, the CEO of EIT Manufacturing, has joined me again for this fourth session. Welcome back, Klaus. And perhaps you can just describe for our participants the role of manufacturing in reaching these climate goals.
Yeah, the green transformation to a climate neutral continent in fact depends on how products are designed, engineered, and produced. And however, the assembly itself is a small component of a product and a life cycle. Most of the footprint comes from the raw materials and the lifetime of the products. Let's take a concrete example, batteries. Batteries will be very important and decisive for our future mobility. And Europe has to ensure that we have access to the needed raw materials, mainly lithium, but cobalt, graphite, manganese. And recycling is one of the ways to have access to these raw materials. So recycling has not only an environmental dimension, but also increases our independence from raw materials from other parts of the world and our competitiveness.
Obviously, underlining the push towards a more circular economy, and EIT Raw Materials obviously very involved in that sector in terms of increasing recycling. Now, we're about to hear, Klaus, from two projects that will change European manufacturing for the better. They've been supported by EIT Manufacturing this year. Why these projects and why are they so impactful?
Yeah, you know, it was really a big debate between the management team and a tough decision.
Yes.
Whom give the floor to open the presentation of our successful products. And we have chosen the two from Anna and from Emil because they demonstrate, on the one hand, really the innovation power of the community. And on the other hand, they demonstrate what's possible if we work together on a European level. Work for a strong and united Europe and not for a fragmented and weak one. And this is also my message to the Prime Ministers. They will meet in the afternoon in Brussels for the European Summit. Work for a united, stronger Europe.
Exactly. Getting away from that fragmentation. Klaus mentioned Emil Johansen and Anna Silva. We'll be hearing from both of them just now, and with no further ado, let's take a look at the first project. It's entitled Softdream, presented by Emil Johansen from the Research Institute of Sweden.
My name is Emil Johansson. I work at Research Institutes of Sweden, and I'm the leader of the innovation project Softdream. We want to help the European industry use industrial robotics to do additive manufacturing and make that as easy as possible. This year, the world has faced one of the biggest crises of the last decade, COVID-19. And in the first month of this pandemic, 3D printing became absolutely vital to provide the global need of protective gear. Other manufacturing industries could not be adapted quickly enough. Now, this has really highlighted that the industry today is at a constant risk of disruption, whether from a pandemic, competitors, or simply a quickly changing market landscape. Now, we believe that using industrial robotics and 3D printing together will let the industry innovate on new products a lot faster, whether in automotive or furniture for that matter. This is why we joined forces, 3 research institutes and 3 industrial partners, to create the product Softdream, because we believe that robots can address many of the current limitations with additive manufacturing. First of all, robots are flexible. Doesn't matter what you put at the end of the robot, whether it's concrete extrusion, thermoplastic extrusion, or metal deposition. Secondly, robots come in every size, and you can easily integrate them into different environments. Finally, robots are affordable and readily available. In the world, there are about 2.7 million industrial robots already. But the current limitation is in the software. Right now, you may need up to 4 different pieces of software to use your industrial robot as a 3D printer, depending on the material. And this is what we wanted to address. By creating a complete toolchain from 3D model to finished part, we make it as easy as possible by providing tools like process simulation, tool path planning, robot simulation, robot code generation, and real-time monitoring solutions, which lets you check on the process in real time. We make it as easy as possible to succeed with robotic AM, regardless of material and robotic brand. Right now, we are validating our solution with our industrial end users, and we hope to be able to bring this to market through a startup at the beginning of 2021. If you're interested in this technology, please come and check us out at our booth, and we'll be happy to talk more about this exciting new future that we want to build together. Thank you. My name is Emil Johansson. I work at
Fantastic
Research
stuff there from
Institute of
Emil
Sweden.
Johansson of the Research Institute of Sweden with Softdream and robotics for additive manufacturing. We will speak to Emil in just a moment, as I said, but first we're going to take a look at the second project that made the grade, as Klaus said, Zero Defect 4.0 from Sonai Arauco in Portugal, presented by Ana Silva.
Hello everyone, I'm Ana Silva, Project Coordinator at Zero Defects 4.0, and we're using data to save resources and empower shop floor staff. We know that ensuring a high level of product quality is today a challenge for many industries. This is because clients' expectations and quality standards are increasing, product combinations are multiplying, thus adding greater complexity, and we also know that defect products generate the wastage of valuable resources. At Zero Defects 4.0, we wanted to tackle that. So we thought of developing a system that would support manufacturing industries into their decision-making processes for quality. So the hypothesis that we had was, could we use data to save resources and help reduce defects? So we gathered a team of knowledgeable partners with expertise in the areas of manufacturing, data science and analytics, IoT, and digital technologies applied to manufacturing. We have developed a system that recommends actions in order to maximize product quality. What it does is that it analyzes production orders and checks the conditions of the raw materials that will be used in those orders. It then predicts defects per production order and signals quality issues that staff should take into account. It then recommends concrete actions that shop floor teams can take to maximize quality. This solution is currently being tested at one of Sonai Arauco's industrial sites in Portugal. In terms of benefits, we expect that the Zero Defect solution will help improve product quality through the reduction of defects. It will also promote a better usage of natural resources such as wood, and also will help shop floor staff through a better decision-making. For example, in one of Sonai Arauco's sites, we expect that in the first year of implementation, this system will help save almost 245 tons of wood. We're thus helping manufacturing companies through data and artificial intelligence. This project has been nominated for the EIT Awards 2020. We're very thrilled about that. And if you want to know more about the project, we invite you to visit our virtual booth here at the EIT Manufacturing Summit. Hello.
Yes, I have been asked to remind you all to be sure to visit those virtual booths and to check out a lot of the projects, many of which were involved in the EIT, some of which were involved in the EIT Awards. Emil Johansen and Anna Silva, I believe, are with us now. Let's see if we can get them online. There they are. Welcome to both of you and congratulations. And so glad you could join us here for this very first EIT Manufacturing Summit. Emil, I'm going to ask you a question first about Softdream, industrial robotics and additive manufacturing. Can you give us just some concrete numbers to demonstrate the impact that a project like this could have in the long term?
Yes, so the really fantastic thing about this is that industrial robotics are very available in the industry today. As I said, we have 2.7 million in the world today, 500,000 in Europe. We believe that a lot of the companies, the small, medium-sized companies in Europe will be able to use this technology, and that is 99% of all the companies in Europe in the manufacturing sector. So I think on the long term, it will really help to innovate on new products and just be able to provide us with a more competitive industry.
Okay, and perhaps just quickly, you could give us an idea of the time frame that would be required to scale up a technology like this.
That is also something that is super interesting because the technology is already there. You have industrial robots in many different industries today. It doesn't really matter what you put at the end of the robot. You already have the technology to put metal deposition, plastic deposition, concrete extrusion at the end of the robotic arm. So what we have to do is really provide the industry with a tool to make this happen. And it can happen within even 1 or 2 years. That is my belief, actually.
So we'll be looking forward to hearing great things from you in 2021. And thanks very much for joining us, Emil Johansen. Anna Silva, I'm going to come over to you now. And congratulations, of course, at this moment for your nomination for the EIT Award 2020 in the innovation category. Everyone's very proud of you here. Using data to save resources and reduce defects, what do you see as some of the immediate applications or directions that this technology could take?
Well, for sure, we really see this solution as being applicable in many process-based industries. So no matter what type of products they are manufacturing, because we really know that, as we presented in the video, we really know that product combinations are multiplying. The demands of the other industries that we're serving are really a challenge nowadays. So definitely we can look into some of the data that has been historically gathered by many companies and really find a way with the new machine learning algorithms, find a way to extract value out of those, out of that data. So definitely applicable to many other industries around Europe nowadays and contributes, let's say, to the transformation of the European manufacturing space.
Okay, and I have just one, just very quickly, if you could possibly indicate to us what the project next steps would be.
Well, actually, we're in a very interesting stage. So we're now piloting this in a real manufacturing scenario. So it's really the testing of the solution developed. And so we will continue this testing throughout 2021, but we are already working to see how this project could be scaled, not only to other production sites within the Sonae Arauco space, but also to other partners. So actively, all the partners involved in this project are there. And for sure, the EIT Summit, the EIT Manufacturing Summit would also help us push a little bit more on the visibility of the project and the end solution that we envisioned, because again, as strengthened, and it's from the perspective of the technology and the solution developed, it's really very scalable and applicable to other concepts.
Okay, great stuff there. And obviously you will be able to get a lot more visibility at the booths also this afternoon. Hopefully lots of people will take the opportunity to come by and chat. I have one more question here that I want to squeeze in because a question has come to Softdream from Saurabh Tak, one of our participants. Emil, what do you think about the balance between human resource versus robots and its impact on the job market? Obviously a common concern.
Yes, this is often raised as a concern, and I don't see that it will be a problem in the long term. Of course, you will always have some risk when you do automation or when you talk about automation. But if you look at the countries that have quite a high robotic density, usually you don't see a big correlation with unemployment, for example. So I don't see that it will be a problem. I see that the problem is to reskill the workforce,
Yes.
which is also one of the
Yeah.
main aspects of EIT manufacturing.
Something we will be tackling in the very last session of this morning in our panel discussion about green and resilient manufacturing. Thank you very much to both of you for joining us, Emil Johansen and Anna Silva, and congratulations also on your great success this year with EIT manufacturing. And perhaps I could just get a quick response from Klaus regarding how EIT manufacturing can nurture and multiply projects like these.
Yeah, maybe let me also take up the last question. I mean, to say it in simple words, in the past we employed a lot of, let's say, less educated people that carried boxes in our factories and plants.
Right.
And now and in the future, we need really very well educated people, not less, the same amount or more, I don't know, but well educated people that are able to control, to manage, to program, to supervise the robots that carries the boxes now. Yeah, and therefore I'm very happy that in a kick under the umbrella of the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, we bring technology and education together. We have a strong education pillar, and we have to reskill and upskill our workforce, and not only the workforce at the top floor. It is also important for the management to run a traditional manufacturing company in the digital economy. For instance, it is decisive if I say, okay, I sell boxes, or I give the box away for free and make a business with the services around the box. Yeah, this decision is a top management decision, and it can be really decisive for the survival of the company.
So there really is an upskilling all the way up through the entire hierarchies of almost every business. Thank you very much for that insight there, Klaus. And thanks to you for joining me, because we've come to the end of this session, and I know you'll be heading back to Bavaria, and we'll be tuning in tomorrow on the end of for the closing of this summit. Best of luck for 2021, because we won't be seeing one another personally, but I'll tune in again with you tomorrow on screen.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, Klaus Beetz.
Thank you, Karin. And for all the listeners, these were only 2 examples. Tomorrow there will follow some more, and please visit the virtual booth. There you will see even more of our achievements of this year. Thank you.
That's right, absolutely. Virtual booths, a reminder to all our participants to please go check them out. Some of tomorrow's Boost Up finalists will also be showcased there. There are companies like SimSoft, Softdream, obviously you can visit them again, Plastic Free, and many, many more. So it is time now for another short intermission. We will be coming back for session 5 with our panel discussion. So we'll see you in a few minutes for that to finish up and end the morning sessions. Thanks for